And we are live. Hey guys, so today I'm going to do some more testing with my new aim tool, and I'm going to hopefully finish off this walk cycle I'm working on just to show you where I ended up with yesterday. I was mainly focusing on the arm spacing and playing around with some new workflow ideas for that, new to me anyway. So I'm pretty happy with it in general. It just feels like it needs a little bit more details and polish here and there. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mute his translatency on his main controller. So now he's back to just a walk on the spot. And I'm going to reduce my timeline again back to the length of the cycle, which is 21 frames in this case. So I'm just noticing, yeah, this tail isn't exactly in the right pose. Like that pose better. There we go, just fixing that loop. So what I'm going to do today, first of all, is look at his ears and see if I can get some nice overlap in there. I actually quite like to do this stuff manually, quite honestly, but it can certainly be it's an interesting pivot for that control. Guys, there was one that low down. I'm not going to use that one actually. I don't think that's a little bit far into the ear for what I want today. Yeah, I just want to use this one, I think. So yeah, as I say, I like to do this stuff manually. I find it fun and kind of an interesting challenge. To think about where things are going and where they're heading. I generally do it in a straight ahead pass once I'm kind of happy with everything else. But that can be quite time consuming. So I'm going to try using aim tools today to see if I can speed it up. Sort of like using sort of some of the ideas Richard Rico demonstrates in his videos, which is where aim tools is inspired by. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm just going to build in a little bit of a pose into these ear controls. They don't have any animation on them yet. I actually deleted what was on them because it wasn't really relating to what was what the head was doing at this point, because I polished the head animation and changed it quite a bit. I'm just putting in something there just to kind of break away from the rig pose. Just twisting maybe a few axes just to get a more appealing shape in there, and so they're not totally symmetrical. Something like that. Keep it simple, but again, just to get something that's not the default rig pose, because that can be very stiff looking. So now I'm going to use the aim tools. I've been working on a couple of improvements for it this week. I've cleaned up the GUI a little bit, as I mentioned the last time. I also added a little check today for an error that might come up. Excuse me. If I select this base controller here, there's actually no animation on it yet. And that's fine, but if I create an aim locator and then switch to object mode and bring it up, maybe around here. If I try and attach that control or that locator to the control now, with this keys only option on, there aren't any keys. So if I do it there, you'll see I get this error: no keys found on control object. Please disable the keys only checkbox and try again. So it's just to give the animators a little bit of a warning that you're trying to do something here that won't probably work very well. So it's just, all you have to do is just disable this option and then run it again. And now it's done, because it's just basically baked every frame now. But the keys only option is to avoid having to bake every frame. Sometimes it's handy to be able to just keep to what's already keyed on the controller. Same thing when you're baking back from the aim locator, the same option down here. But sometimes you just want to just key everything, key all the frames in your time range, which is what I've done there, and what you have to do basically when there aren't any existing keys on it. And then the last part of the setup process is just hitting this aim controller locator button, because at the moment it's keyframe to follow along with the rig, but it's not actually controlling the ear control yet. But if I just click this, now it is. It just gives me a little error, or little information there that it's been set up. So now this control is controlling the ear. So now what I'm going to do is, again, this is very much like what you see in some of the Richard Rico demos. I'm going to grab the control for that, or the locator, and I'll look at the graph editor and just have a quick look. I'm going to just, let's say, I'll come out quickly first. I'm going to just fix my tangents, and won't matter too much because I've already got keys in every frame. But I'm just going to go curves, post-infinity cycle, and curves, pre-infinity cycle. So now they're basically just repeating off into spacing. So I see it there. This repeats that. If you have view infinity on, I like to work with that on all the time, just so I can see what the curve is doing as it goes in the end of the cycle and back out again. So now I've got that loop happening. So if I you know, if I add more frames to my animation, that will keep going like the rest of the character does, because I've done the same thing with the rest of the controllers. They're all looping in Infinity as well. But now what I can do, and this is again very much what Richard Nico shows, is I can offset these keys maybe by maybe 1 frame or 2 frames. I'll see, I'll just experiment and see what works. So I'll try just 1 frame just to start off with. And even already that looks kind of interesting. That's giving a little bit of a flop there. I think that might be enough for that control. So I think I'll do the same thing now on the other side. I'll go back to my key range again, frame 21, create name locator. You can create as many of these as you like. It kind of assigns each one to a controller, so it keeps track of what's controlling what. You don't have to worry about that. So then the same thing, attach locator to control, and then aim control to locator. And now I've got exactly the same thing set up, and then I'm going to do the same thing again. Just going to select these keys, and you can actually use the icons here as well to pre-infinity cycle, post-infinity cycle. That's the same thing that's going over to this menu here. So now again, the same thing. I'm just going to grab those keys, all of them, and just drag them forward 1 frame. Yeah, that's not too bad. Like straight away, that's, you know, it's a little bit computery for my tastes. You know, it's not perfect, but it's certainly not a bad starting point. You know, it kind of feels, you know, like it's driven by the character, because it is. You know, it's just lagging a little bit from behind the character. So now I'm just going to select. I'm going to go back to my frame range again, and I'm just going to select this locator and just key control from aim locator. I can leave keys only on because I've got keys on every frame anyway, so it's not going to make any difference at this point. But using existing rotation keys on the controller first, there aren't any keys there, but I can just say yeah anyway. It doesn't matter. And the same thing with this one. So now I've got that animation baked into that control. And then I'm just do the same thing with these guys with the next. Basically, I'm going to start from the base of the ears and work out. So I'm going to select this guy, create aim locator, push it up here a little bit. I think depending on how far I push it up, it'll kind of exaggerate it a bit more. I think that like above the tip there seems to work pretty well. Attach locator to control, aim control locator, and I can do the same thing over here. Oops, create the aim locator first. Once you create it, it automatically gets selected, so you can just grab it. Attach locator to control, aim locator, aim control at locator. That's a mouthful, but it's easy to do. So again, same thing. I'm going to grab both of these now at this point. I go to graph editor, post infinity cycle, pre-infinity cycle, and then just grab all these keys. I'm going to hotkey there just to bump them off the frame. There we go. And that is feeling very floppy for my taste. You know, I might even try go back into the graph editor. Can I turn off snapping? Snapping. Yeah, time snap. Maybe rather than going a whole frame, maybe try putting them back. Oops, I want to make sure I move them only in time. Maybe try half a frame. Yeah, I prefer that. It doesn't really matter that I'm getting fractional frames on those controllers, because when I bake them back to the control, on those locators rather, when I bake them back to the control, I'm going to be baking on whole frames anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So again, it's the same thing. Key control from main locator. This time I don't want to do keys only because those keys are on weird frames. So I'm just going to do no, and it's just going to bake every frame. Same thing here. Oof. And now we're back to, yeah, pretty nice. And then the last thing I'm going to do just to finish that off is I'm going to select both of these, or all 4 of these controls, and back into graph editor and make sure they're cycling with offset as well, so that when I, you know, increase my frame range, they keep going. That's not bad. You know, I could certainly go in there now and kind of overlap or push the overlap. You know, I would probably, you know, the animator in me doesn't want to just leave it what I have there. What I would do is kind of look maybe at this frame and push that one, maybe even, you know, drag the tip a little bit as well, and people drag it there a little bit as well. You know, just adding a little bit more flair to it. And then here, maybe just drag it just for that 1 frame. Yeah, just give it a bit more flavor. You know, just stop it feeling a little bit too computery, if you like. Then the same thing here. Maybe like that frame just a little bit, maybe even this one a little bit as well. Just have the transition that maybe even here as well. And then same kind of thing here. Yeah, that's a little bit better. It's just adding a little bit extra detail. I'm gonna try the same thing now with the whiskers. We've got these the controllers down here for the whiskers. They're kind of nice. And I can use exactly the same thing. Create aim locator. Push it out a bit. Same thing. Create aim locator. Push it out. Push it out. And I gotta select each of these in turn. That's locator to control. Here, same thing. Locator to control and control locator. Attach control, aim control. You'll notice when I do that aim control locator, another locator gets created as well, which is based these three little small ones down here. These are the up vectors, which control the rotation. It's not so much of a factor in this case because I'm only worried really about the translation, but it means I can grab any of these controllers and rotate them as well in the twist axis. You can see I'm getting a little bit of interesting stuff there, but so again, same thing, create an indicator, pull it out, attach it to the control, control. You see this is pretty quick. And the last one. Oh no, sorry, I did that twice. Create indicator, control, and aim. And so now I've got these 6 objects, and now I can play around with those in the graph editor. Again, make them loop, and let's try offsetting them. Well, I'll go back to snapping again and just try offsetting them by frame. See if that feels. I actually hide locators in this view. Just give me a little bit closer here, and then maybe we can hide controllers. That's just the key I have here. That's not bad. But the only thing is it's feeling very mechanical because they're all at the same rate. So I might just show locators again and just randomize them a little bit. Yeah, turn off time snapping. Maybe push this one back, you know, a little bit to say. Push this one forward a tiny bit more. Same kind of thing over here. Just grab all these. I've got this little thing here, so I don't have to hold shift to constrain this. We have that one not like that much. This one's, well, they're all the same length, so technically they should all look at the same amount. But let's just try that. That should be a little bit more organic looking. Hide locators. Yeah, not too bad. So then it's just a matter of showing the locators once more, making sure I'm set to frame 1 to 21, and just keep control. We'll delete each one as I go along, so keep control. Control. So there I've done overlap on 6 whiskers and 4 ear controls in about 10 minutes. That's pretty good. You know, and I'm certainly free to again to play around with this, and you know, again I would go in maybe and just look at some of the poses and just push them, you know. We have that one, just drag a little bit more there, just to break up the shapes a little bit. Maybe have that one, no, you know, maybe a little bit more rigid there. Follow through a bit quicker here, a bit more there. There, just again, just to drag, just to kind of play around with what was there, but push it a little bit more, keep it, stop it from looking too computery. It's a word I use a lot. And it's just, I guess it's the opposite of organic or handmade. That's what I'm trying to express. But you know, it's giving me something very quick to react to, like kind of like it's kind of like mocap almost. You know, you've got something there that you can kind of go, well, that's nice. It's kind of what I want, but it's maybe not quite enough yet, or it's a little bit too, with mocap it's usually too noisy. But with this, maybe it's just a little bit too clean. Maybe I want to add a bit of noise into it. Yeah, there's quite a lot of that one there. This one there really gets chilled up. It's going to be interesting how much that goes. I might even reduce it a little bit. It feels a little bit big, but I don't dislike it. I just think maybe there it's a little bit big. Look, the graph editor. What channel is that? That's Rode Z. Bring that down. Oops, not that one. Oh, I can't set this way. This way again, so I can only change. Now I'm only changing values. I'm not changing time. That's a little bit softer. I feel like it's bringing up there a little bit too quick. But again, I can just look at things like this and just play around with curves. Make it feel a bit more animated now rather than totally physically based. A bit more pleasing. But give me a very quick. I haven't even done the tip of the ears. I could do the same thing with those. Let's try it while we're here. Why not? Locator. So control and the same here. Oops. Locator. Control. Oh, I didn't actually pull that one up. I didn't do that. And rather, that one. Control now. Still got to start that again. It's generally, if you have it right on the axis of the control, it'll probably do weird things because it's trying to aim at something that it's at. There's no distance there for it to for the aim constraint to work. So, okay, now that's it. Now again, same workflow again. Just into the graph editor, turn off time snapping maybe. Still off. Weird. Thanks, Maya. And then just maybe offset them a little bit, maybe just a half or a third of a frame. Yeah, I don't want to go any more than that. I feel like it's really going to start feeling like a cloth sim almost if I go too far with it. But it's pretty cool, Like I'm not using dynamics here. Like dynamics are another way to approach this kind of thing, and they can be good. But again, you can be I find with I've written scripts and stuff for setting up dynamics. And they can be good sometimes. I often find I end up spending half my time tweaking the settings, where this is a bit more I don't know, hands-on. Really, it's a bit more intuitive. So again, it's easy control from the locator, easy control from the locator. So yeah, this is a pretty smooth workflow, I feel. So the last thing I'm going to do, I've got these three controls here. Why not finish it off? We've got everything else flopping around. Why not make these guys flop around as well? Control. Again, I'm going to do all these 6 controls together because I have all one unit. I probably like the whiskers a little. Oops, I end up offsetting them a bit and playing out a little bit. The other thing I'm kind of doing in the back of my mind while I'm doing this is I'm testing this script to see does it break, because all of these controllers have different orientations, and touch wood, so far it has not broken. Pretty cool. I did spend a bit of time working on the part of it that figures out what axis to use for the out vector. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it seems to be pretty robust. I haven't found a rig yet that's broken it, which is good. Certainly my first version of the script I did. So these are the 6 locators again that I want to just do their looping into infinity, and then just start offsetting maybe just half a frame. That's not bad. I feel like I can go a bit further though. Let's try closer to like a frame. Yeah, and let's now try randomize it a little bit. So maybe grab this one, maybe push those a little more. Actually, maybe a little bit less on those because they're probably lighter than these ones. Maybe push that a bit more. This one, push it a little bit. This one, back a little bit. This one, forward a little bit. just so they don't all look like they're going the same rate. I feel like that's good. I feel like I want to drag this middle one a little bit more. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. So again, I'm just going to key to control. So there we go. So we got some pretty decent overlap there without a lot of work. Again, I would like to maybe play around with some of this stuff. I've only got the what you call it, rotation challenge being driven, of course, by the aim control. So I might push some of this stuff here, just to actually translate as well. Just to give it a bit more. Yeah, I like that. So I'll do the same thing here. So there, maybe drag it down a bit more. I'm just pushing what I got from the script. Again, I'm also adding a little bit of translation here and there. So as he drops down here in quite a big way, I'm going to push back here as well and drag back. And here I'm going to push the rotation and add a bit of more. Again, nudge it down a bit. And then here, nudge it up. Yeah. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I might actually grab all of these actually. So where there's a big jump down, maybe have them stay up and then here drop down. So there's a big jump down, so I have them stay up. So I'm kind of using my animation principles as well as maybe rotate them down a bit as well more. Again, here's the big change. Back up. Again, a little bit of translation there. I haven't done the same thing on both sides, but again, that gives it a little bit more organicness. That's a word, organicness. Yeah, not like that. I mean, not feeling too bad about that. I think it's pretty good. So I'm going to say that's my aim control pass for now. I'm going to move on maybe to doing a little bit of other polish on some of the parts. One thing I'm noticing is that the mullet, this little, or his muzzle, I know his mullet would be at the back here if you had a mullet. But this control just feels a little bit rigid in a couple of spots. I feel like it could arc a little bit better. So I'm gonna try. I might actually just try a motion thread on it. Let's see how that looks. Let's see. Yeah, I can see it's ups down quite a bit here. Here it doesn't follow through maybe as much as I'd like it to. I want to get rid of that key. I'm just trying to get a nicer arc out of it. It just feels like it's a little bit. One. And then more of a slow out here. Feels like it's coming up there a bit fast. An arc. Basically, I want sort of the bouncing ball sort of thing, so that the spacing gets tighter at the top here. It kind of just slows out of this pose and then snaps out of here. I want to make sure this stays sort of a nice arc and drops down here because it's, it's this part of it's just fleshy. It's gonna like follow through quite a bit. Here I feel like it's not quite enough, and then again it's going to slow out of that pose, slow out. Notice that arc. Let's see how that feels. Motion trade again. Yeah, I like that better. Let's give it a little bit more weight, So I've actually got a little checklist of stuff I had written down to fix. So the mouth I've done, the ears I've done, then the elbows. Yeah, I spent a lot of time yesterday finessing the path of the arms as they swing up and the spacing there. I'm pretty happy with that. I could always, keep tweaking that, but I feel like it's not too bad. I feel like the elbow could maybe be a little bit cleaner now. I'm not totally sure I'm going to do that yet. I might actually just hide this close for a second and let's see if I can select this body geometry. I select maybe this face. I get that blue. No, not the whole body. I'm going to make just this selection. It's kind of like just his elbow basically. Very quick set. Call it ghost set. And now if I ghost his body, if I go object mode, ghost tool, I should just get, yeah. Once again, so I can focus on that. So let's just see, what if I just ghost, maybe that much geometry now, if I just ghost all these poses. Yeah, a little bit hard to see with just that object. You can see it very well because of what I'm ghosting. I'm going to try one other thing actually. Yeah, I am. I'm going to give this a go. This is a kind of an experimental option I've been playing around with. I haven't actually added it to the released version of BH Ghost. But I think I have a shelf here, so I'm just having a look. Yeah, I've got this option here. I go back into the body geometry and select maybe a face of it. I'd like to say this elbow face here. Maybe this one. I'm trying to find one that's kind of at the point. Maybe select both of them actually, so kind of average out. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want to try. I'm going to try creating a geo tracker. Yeah, there we go. So this, as I say, is an experimental kind of option I've been playing around with in my own time. I haven't actually added it to the release version of BH Ghost yet because I don't know that it's fully as robust as I want it to be. But basically, what it does is it's sort of like the normal geo track or tracker command, the one you have over here, create tracker. It's like that, but in this case, it just makes a polysphere again, but it actually welds it to the geometry of the rig rather than just constraining it. So it's actually, as his elbow moves now, that geometry will follow along. And I'd say it seems to be working fine with this rig, but I'm not totally confident it'll work with every rig, which is why I haven't released this. I might actually template this geometry a second. And I might hide the controls. I might just make a quick control selection for this. Right. Okay, and then I can hide this control. And just use that. Select that color and see where it is in space. So now I've got a little bit of a better indicator probably on what the spacing of that will look like. I can just select this frame range and ghost it. Now I can go look at the arcs of that. And yeah, see it's actually I'm going to focus just on this little section here. See that? That's really noisy looking. So if I select the elbow here, see if I can make some of this look a bit better. Don't mind that too much. I'm going to push that maybe a little bit. That's not too bad, but this bit here, this feels very kind of. I might be able to get the exact spacing I want on the elbow, but at least maybe make the arc a little bit smoother. So let's go re-ghost that, re-ghost that. Yeah, that's already a bit better. But now I'm thinking about the arc from this angle. Look at that, that just feels but just that one frame down here. You can push that up a little bit. Yeah, that might work better. I want this to be more that. Making it in the other angle. Yeah, it is of course. thing. I'm just trying to get it sort of decent in most angles. And maybe push it in a little bit here. The arm is almost extended here, so it's not gonna be straighten out exactly how I want it. Bring it here a bit. I might be going off the path a little bit here. We don't know until I look at the arm again. I'm really just thinking about the elbow for now. I'll have to cheat. See, now I've broken the angle in that other arc again, or in that other axis. I might just have a quick look at the controls for a second to see what's going on with the shoulder here. Can I bring the shoulder down just for this frame, or will it look super noisy? Yeah, I don't know if it's going to help. Yeah. Do you feel like that's helping at all? But in general, I feel it's a little bit better. Let's untemplate the geometry again. Hide the controllers. Ghost to ghosts. Quick look. Yeah, I know. I do feel it's improved on the way back. Well, I feel maybe I could do, which would help it, but more than maybe doing the shoulder. It would just be to nudge the arm up. Let's look at the arc on this arm. There we go. Just enough. I'm kind of breaking the arc a little bit, but just trying to stop the elbow totally straightening out. We should try again. Yeah, that's a bit better. Let's have a look at that section again now with the post geometry again. Yeah, a little bit better. Still that kind of jump there. But the path of the wrist is pretty decent there, so I'm not going to get bogged down trying to totally polish every little bit of that out. I feel like it's not too bad. Really bring that back in there. Just get it nice from this angle. Maybe slowing out a little bit more there. That's not bad. I think I'm gonna hide the covers. Now I'm gonna have a look at this section as it comes up here. First of all, here is just post that section. And in general, it's not too bad. I'm not gonna get this key here to feel a bit better. Again, it's actually because of the arm straight. I'm not gonna just nudge that up just a little bit. There we go. So again, now that's a nicer arc. You just by it's the problem with IK, is that you're always kind of you got these two things: the shoulder and the arm and the wrist that are, and then you got the pole as well. So everything's kind of affecting where that elbow ends up. Even here, I just nudge that up a little bit as well. So I'm changing my elbow or my wrist arc just a little bit, just to kind of nudge back a little bit here. Yes. So I'm trying to find a compromise here. Now I like that, but now the spacing here feels a little bit even. On the pole, on the elbow thing. So maybe I can just keep it leading. So I'm getting bigger spacing through the middle here, and then tighter here. I'll just go these few frames here. Here, I'm changing my wrist animation a little bit again, just to try and make this feel a little bit better. Yeah, I'm liking it now as it comes through. Now the last bit I want to focus on is the kind of turnaround. Look at the elbow backer here. It goes from here, here. Isn't too bad. It's the same as this frame, and then here, and then here, and then it goes. So there's a bit of a bump So I like this pose. Let's just make that one yellow to make it more obvious what's going on. So I feel like this pose here is a bit of a drastic change. Like maybe I could slow out of it a bit more. And then slow out again here. Maybe even make this one a bit more. So it's kind of not just hitting that pose. It's in yellow again. And then through. And then it kind of comes back. Quite so quickly. And then we're getting sort of an arc there. Not feeling too bad. It's just this one here. I feel maybe I'm pushing this a bit now, but actually it doesn't. Let's show the body geometry again, bust the posts. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, really. I'm not totally liking how this change happens. I think that's where it's bugging me. And there, and then clunk, and then stays there in space. It's going to clunk, and then it's just stuck there. We'll look at that. Goes that one. Goes that one. You know, it's just too much of a change there. So maybe go for more of a halfway. Yeah, but that's a bit better. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing the other side. The other side's not looking too bad at the back end of the swing, I feel. But here again is that similar sort of thing where it's especially around here, it just feels very noisy, and the shoulder itself kind of feels a bit wormy. So yeah, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna save what I have there incremental again. I'm gonna delete my package, that stuff. And oh, I should have actually not maybe done that. Use this. I think I've got some extra nodes of that creates. You know, it's like have you ever used oh, what's it called? Not microcomet. The one that welds your things on a piece of geometry using follicles. It's a well-known script anyway. I think of it right now. So again, I'm going to select face, the elbow. I think I selected 2 last time. It's kind of tricky to pick the exact point. I'm going to maybe pick. I'll try picking these 4. Move the geometry. This isn't a modeling class. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Let's create a tracker. Again, scale. Oh, I'm going to temper the body again. And I'm going to make a selection for left out. So I can hide it. And same thing, I'm going to start with the back end of the swing. Actually, yeah, I'll start with this the first few keys here as it comes out of that. Again, yeah, it's not as bad as the other side, I don't think. Spacing is kind of nice, and it's not really a bit of an arc to it. That's just obviously amazing. Maybe actually, but maybe the spacing there could be a little bit better. But here is where I don't like as much, especially here. I feel like I can maybe slow out a little bit more of an arc. We're going to get more of a swoop into that pose. And then let's bust all this up. Close that one again. Goes to this one. And I want to get better in between here. I want to kind of slow out of that. And again, it just dives there. Just like, goes that one. Maybe have that one down here actually. Close that one. And then this one. This one goes there. Yeah, this is they're all kind of getting stuck in a little space there, and then kind of suddenly popping over here. I feel like that's the next good one. What if I just delete these keys actually? And go just goes to what's naturally happening. Yeah, it's not too bad, but I feel like this one just get the spacing a little bit. Keep going from where it went. Just so it kind of keeps. Yeah, already looked a bit better. What if I get to arc in this axis a little bit more? Yeah, that help both. But actually, get rid of that one. Just get computer in between, see what that looks like. Yeah, yeah. This one is generally, I think, better, working better than the other side to begin with. Let's bust all. Let's bust this section here. And yeah, again, it's not too bad. Uh-oh. Quite quickly there. I think with the arc on this angle as well. Maybe not in so much, in so fast there. Just going around there. Okay. Like this one could come in here. So again, I'm looking at the arc in all sorts of different angles here. I'm trying to make the spaces work from different angles. Again, this might be somewhere where I can push the arm around a bit, maybe make that work a bit better. Let's see what I can get just out of the elbow. Make that a slightly cleaner, looking at it from the top view. Yeah. Now from the top view, I'm feeling like this area here is a bit noisy. Just didn't come out. Oh, maybe I don't want to quite as quickly here. Here. Follow through a bit more. Here's nice. Here's not too bad, but here's kind of getting stuck. So here's somewhere where I think I would have to actually nudge this. Pull. That's better. And this one, I feel like I can maybe just nudge it up a little bit. There you go. In too much geometry again, yeah. Probably something like that. Yeah, that's better. So it's not a beautiful arc in every single angle, but it's certainly better than it was. Soften that shape a little bit. Small. Yeah, not feeling too bad about that. The computer tracker. Yeah, so that feature is, I'd say it's might be something I'll release at some stage. It's working pretty well. Maybe release it as a kind of a beta, you know. Be careful with this sort of thing. Um, yeah, I'm not feeling too bad about that now. The elbows I feel are a bit more cleaner. I feel a little bit more FK. I guess that's what I'm trying to get. Like, and then my last thing, I'm actually flying through my list really, was just to fix the feet a little bit. I just felt they were a little bit noisy on the on rotation. If I put on the ground plane that I have here, it's just a piece of geometry, maybe something to look at. Yeah, it's just a little rotation thing. It's actually just, I think, the tool control. I'll actually turn on from here. Sometimes it's more information. penetration. Yeah, see right there, foot is kind of a little bit too far into the ground. A little bit. Yeah, actually wireframe is great for this because it's showing me basically what's zooming right in on that. So I'm just going to keep my way through this. I don't mind a little bit of penetration because it kind of gives the weight to it. You don't like you can see it's actually through the floor there. I don't mind that. It gives you a nice gives a nice contact shot. I work with the occlusion all the whole time. I use that a lot to kind of help tell whether something's working or not. So a little bit here. So like the foot, I'm kind of happy enough with what the back of the foot is doing. It's really just that the front was kind of bugging me a bit. That feels really weird there. See the way the toes lifting off before the weight is coming off. That's because of the way I animate the feet. Really, I'm actually rotating this controller back here, so it's translating and rotating. I don't really use foot roll. This thing, which is actually that's kind of interesting. Oh, it's giving me like a squash there. Oh, pretty unique. I don't know if that's deliberate or if it's just a weird thing with the rig. I've never seen that before. But I don't really use that. I just find I don't know. It often just ends up being more trouble than it's worth trying to get it to smoothly transition into the in the air pose. So I just rotate the controller and pull it off a little bit, pull off the ground a little bit. I wish I could translate this control. Can I translate the feet even? Yeah, I can actually. Yeah. Maybe just pull them down a little bit back. And then here. I don't mind that it's going through the floor a little bit there. But not too much. Yeah, actually I feel like it's going through the floor a little bit too much there. Oops. This feels a little bit he's dragging his feet too much. Shake up. What I'm trying to do here is contrast the shape when he lands. I want it to feel. I want to see. I've already animated toes that they spread out. If I squash them in a little bit just before they land, sort of exaggerate that. Yeah, just push that. Now you see that change more. Yeah, not too bad about that now. Yeah, that feels clear. So, just the same thing on the other side. It's too much. Now it's going to be going into that pose. Mostly fine on this side. There we go. At the beginning, I believe. So yeah, the wireframe view is quite handy here just to see exactly what the geometry is doing. Yeah, see that there. That just looks weird. Just the middle slow down a bit. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of a drag there, which I don't mind too much. Like it's deliberate to kind of drag, have the tip of the toe dragging a little bit as it comes through. Too much. Yeah, I've actually got more of a lift off on this side already. I'm trying to think where it was. Do the same thing on the side. Get a slightly nicer shape there. It's pretty low poly in this area, but I can smooth them out. Let's get around there. Feel the stretch there on the contact. Maybe straighten that out a bit. That's nice. keep it straight a little bit more, and then I'm kind of looking at this front edge here while it's doing. Yeah, I'll do the same thing on the side as well. A little bit straighter on the contact. Working an object movie. Just copy close to the last frame because that's a loop. Back to it. And then that. I'll make this front line here nice and. Yeah, feel pretty good about that. I kept his body, like his lower body, pretty subtle. You know, I could have gone broader with how much he pulls up. I'd just do a quick experiment with that actually to see how it looks. I'd maybe go up here, maybe just a little bit more. Just translate. I was actually knowing this. There's a lot of bit. Oops. Go pretty far before it starts looking like anything. Yeah, maybe something like that. That's the pelvis. That's the. Yes. I don't actually need these. So on everything, just this one goes. That's. Yeah, it's frame 7, which is 6 frames out of contact. So that would be frame over here would be frame 17. Doesn't fail me. And then we do that again. Oops. Those. This. Pretty subtle. 1, 2. Or crazy. 1, 2. That's big. That one's just further. Yeah, and then pull maybe the leg up a little bit as well. Yeah, a little more. Yeah, just so I get a bit of a bigger change. Don't want to intersect with this jacket here. Yeah, so there's a bit more energy there now. I'll try and do the same with the other. Pull this up. Okay, why were we? Yeah, it was these 2 keys I adjusted on this side as well. Just a little bit more jaunty. Piecing the jaunt. Again, push the spacing a little bit there so you get more of a tangent, more of a change contact. Yeah, it's subtle, but it's just adding a little bit more life there in this pelvis. I really don't want to spend too much focus there, if you like. It's kind of like you have to choose where you're really putting the detail, where you want people to look. I want people to look at his face and his arms. I want this, maybe his tail in a little bit. That little swish in his tail is kind of fun. But it's really up here, you know, and that's generally what we want to look at our characters. Right in the face, you know, seeing where they are, seeing what their mood is, and then the upper body in this walking way is doing most of the work with showing the arch. You know, this really exaggerated leading thing he's doing with his shoulders here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna maybe do I might even throw this into Redshift and see if I can do a little render of it just to see how it feels. Let's have a look at him walking off the spot again, just to see what it feels like. Unmute selected again. And give it some more time so we can have a look at it. Oh yeah, off he goes. I don't know where he's going exactly, but I feel like whoever he's going to see better watch out. I don't think he's in the best of moods with him. We're going to kick some ass, maybe. Give somebody a piece of his mind. I don't know, but he's definitely got a bit of an attitude, which is what I wanted to get this. Michael looks great. Thanks a million. Yeah, he's a really fun character. This is one of the newer. Well, I guess it's all 2 months old now at least, but one of the iAnimate rigs. I'm an alumni at iAnimate now. I've done all the feature course. I've done one of the creature classes as well. But once you're finished one of the cycles, you get to be an alumni. Basically, it means you can just get the new tutorials and new rigs as they come out, which is great because they really make some gorgeous rigs. This is Victor Vignal's rig. He's a fantastic rigger. His rigs, I feel, are some of the best around in terms of that balance between having as much control as you want and then having a rig that's actually reasonably good. I haven't even been using the animation caching here at all today. It's been running pretty much full speed anyway, and I'll try switching it on just to see. Probably take a while to fill up the cache now because I've got much. Actually, I'll reduce out of it. We don't need 500 frames if we're going to see them for 200, so I'll do that. Save my RAM a little bit. Pretty cool actually. If you have the HUD up, it'll show you how much of the memory it's using. I've got it. You can go into your preferences here actually, cache playback, and you can set how much of the percentage of your RAM it uses and tell it to stop caching when it runs out. I got it set to 75% of my RAM because I've got 64 gigs, so which is plenty for this rig. What's cool? iAnimate. It's the one that Jason Ryan started. A lot of people there from all sorts of studios nowadays, but I think originally it was a lot of people from DreamWorks. There's a lot of different people there now. Still a lot of DreamWorks people, but people from other studios as well, I think. Yeah, Jason was the one who started it. He's actually an Irish guy. I've been lucky to meet him a couple of times over here in Ireland. Really nice guy. Yeah, he's been an animator at DreamWorks and Disney. I think he's at Cinesite now. I think he's a director there now, or a directing animator. I'm not sure exactly the title. But yeah, he's a great animator, great teacher as well. That's that thing for teaching. But yeah, they're really fun rigs. Some of them, but this one I just really like him. I like cats to begin with, so give me a cartoon looking cat and I'll be very happy. So yeah, I kind of say that's that done for a walk cycle. You know, it's could it be better? Yeah, I could have added more to it. Yeah, absolutely. You always can. But I feel like it's pretty decent. So I'm going to leave that there for today. I might stick this into Redshift and maybe do a render and see how it looks, and I'll probably post it up then on my Vimeo page. And I'll be back. I don't know about tomorrow, probably not tomorrow, but maybe Sunday. I want to start looking at some other kind of cartoony stuff. I was thinking about doing some draw over, some study of some cartoony work. I really want to work on my Horizon Ostrich thing, and I know what I want to get for that. So I want to make it feel more cartoony. So I feel like going studying some cartoony stuff might help. Thanks for the stream. Well, thanks for stopping by and checking it out. Thanks a million. By the way, I put all of these are all recorded, and they all end up on Twitch, but they only stay there I think for like 16 days. So what I've started doing is downloading them myself and putting them on YouTube as well. So if you have a look for Graphite 9 on YouTube, I have a playlist there of all of these streams. So if you want to watch them again, and they're missing from this. If some of the older ones you want to watch or whatever are missing, and you're watching this one, you want to catch up on the older ones, they're all going to be on YouTube. Kind of stockpile there for the future, so that we won't run out of them. So I hope you find that useful, and thanks a million for stopping by. Cheers.